ahead of the 2027 poll, critical stakeholders in the electioneering processes have proffered solutions to the menace of godfatherism and vote rigging, which have been prevalent since the return to democratic rule in the country. The call was part of recommendations made at the Subnational Strengthening Democracy Conference held in Lagos on Thursday. The conference, themed Pathway to Good Governance and Political Integrity, was organized through a strategic partnership between Peering Advocacy and Advancement Center in Africa, African Center for Leadership, Strategic and Development Center, Center for Democracy and Development, and Westminster Foundation for Democracy. The stakeholders called for enhancing electoral awareness and voter empowerment, reducing the high cost of governance, and promoting fiscal accountability. They also called for encouraging statesmanship among political actors to address godfatherism. The stakeholders recommended improving electoral processes and integrity, urging political parties to uphold internal democracy to ensure credible candidate selection, while also calling for institutional frameworks to be strengthened to curb vote buying and electoral fraud. They said there should be enhanced youth engagement in politics by providing young voters with accurate information to enable informed electoral participation. The conference had panel session which discussed electoral violence, women inclusion, and interagency collaboration. The second panel session discussed strengthening the roles of CSOs, political parties, media, and other stakeholders in mobilizing citizens for electoral and political participation. Mr. Divine, let me start with you. We're looking at, do you think, based on the precedent election we had, the Nigerians are still eager to vote?
Nigerians are not eager to vote. I would say that. I will use myself as an example.
Okay.
I came out to vote last time, but with the outcome of things, I am not eager to vote. And I think this is the same with others, because coming out to vote, we saw the outcome and everything. You will not have the energy to vote again.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, after the presidential election, with all that happened, the next was the states election.
Okay.
And with the whole outcome, it's devastating, bringing down your whole spirit. And we're talking about fixing godfatherism and all that. We've not fixed. Okay, last time we heard they fixed this, they fixed that. What was that called? They had a budget to digitalize the voting process or something like that, where you can track, view. What happened to that? It was not carried out. At the middle or the long run of the election, everything crashed. I don't know, it wasn't going properly anymore. How sure are we that this will be implemented? How sure are we this will be implemented? So we're just getting stories and stories and stories and not seeing anything implemented. We're not seeing the success of these stories or these ideas being brought to us. Using the previous elections, I don't think people are eager to.
Let me bring your focus to Abia State. Abia State. We found out that in a dramatic plot, Alex Oti came into power, and then he's been doing well. So the people kept asking. So some person are like of opinion that godfatherism had been one of the things that bedeviled the state. You know, now before they got to that extent, it was the people had to come out and take their own decision. You just mentioned apathy to an extent. Do you think sitting on the fence is the best option?
Sitting on the fence is not the best option. Yes, it's not the best option. But using Abia State, that is, should I say, 1 out of 10. That's basically 1 out of 10. Because I think the solution to that was from the stakeholders of the electoral process.
Okay.
Yes, they wanted the people's voice to be heard. Yes, with what's happened in the whole general election last year, the presidential election, it wasn't a nice one, really favorable one. With the whole process, we had videos, we saw things, but then why was those things not talked on or addressed? Why was the system failed and we didn't get any good information or report about that? There are many questions to that, and if these questions are not being answered, then there may be apathy on the side of the people.
Okay.
Yes, we're talking about people coming out and taking hold, but then we come out. Is the process there for our voice to be heard? Are we going to be shut down as we've always been shut down? That's the issues we have.
All right, Mr. Thank you so much, Mr. Libari. Do you still believe power resides with people when it comes to electing their leaders?
Mr. Michael, Nigeria is deep.
It's the case.
See, like what they are saying there, the solution to godfatherism, I didn't see any practical solution to godfatherism there, because I don't see any practical solution to godfatherism. What is godfatherism? A man bringing a candidate. You have said they should strengthen inter-party democracy. Who are the people in the party? Is it not the godfathers that are there? Who are the stakeholders in the party? Who are the people selling the form? Who are the people conducting the screening? See, the best way to settle Nigeria is let's have electronic voting.
Electronic voting?
Wherein as I'm voting, I am seeing the vote. I can monitor it. Okay. It will help in curbing some of these electoral malpractice and rigging. Another thing is that let's have independent candidates. Yeah, do you know why? A man will sit in ACPT and tell me that I cannot contest, I'm not loyal, the way they call it. You are not loyal to me. Now, I can go as an independent candidate, find myself for the election, and based on electronic voting, I see that the vote is counting. I win.
Okay.
That's one. Number two, the electoral umpires. Who are they? You are talking about Abia State. We heard the woman that was the electoral this thing there. She will tell you vehemently how they came. They told her to do this. She stood her ground. You see the way she was dramatizing it. They came through this way. She stood her ground. They asked me to do this. I stood my ground. Don't bring somebody that someone is a vice chancellor, sorry. That someone is a vice chancellor doesn't make that person credible to be someone that will be in charge of an election in the states. They are one of the problems we are having.
But we just wake up one morning and vote for someone who don't know he is president.
Excuse me, Michael. Someone we don't know who's his president. Those we know their presidents, how has it been? How many persons with good presidents have won election in Nigeria without the godfathers? We know all what Peter Obi went through in Anambra State. It's not hidden. What he went through in Anambra State because of godfatherism. Currently in River State, what is happening? Okay. So there are ways to this. Had it been we have electoral umpires that are unbiased, uncompromised, some of these things wouldn't have happened. Let them come with their bows, let them come with their guns, let them come with their arsenals, and then you as the electoral umpire and the headman said this will not happen. I'm going to announce accurately what transpired. Okay, they brought about the beavers. The beavers was a flop. It was a flop. So, let me just put it there. Power in Nigeria now, with all these things, power is no longer resting in the people. And it's bringing about political apathy. It's bringing about political apathy.
Now let's look at it from the point of the electorate. Do you think some Nigerians actually will know what they want, or is based on what you bring comfortable?
Michael, I think we talked about this some times ago. I said our politicians, they weaponized hunger and poverty. Maybe was it the Ibadan local government campaign or something like that, or something that we were talking when people came on Ocean State and the rest. Now, do you know that a hungry man is prone to anything. A hungry man is an angry man. When people are hungry, it's only in Nigeria that I see during election they will come home with bags of rice to start sharing to women. Why? They know that the people are hungry. The person that brings the highest local of rice, the highest this thing, we vote for the person. The person has given us food.
But you know, there's a level of hunger can take and can actually make somebody do something. Because you are looking at 4 years.
Michael, we have what is called voters education. Are you getting it? Voters education goes beyond just telling this person to press where AC, the logo, the party with the logo of AC, the party with the logo of a car. Voters education has to do reorientating the mindset of voters. Someone that is hungry does not want to hear your grammar and your long preaching.
Okay.
What happened to Cain? He was hungry. And that's what they've understood. They've discovered it. And they are using it. Because as far as during electioneering period, all of them, they are in Abuja now. They are in different places now. By 2016, we start going home. Those of us who have been at home, the people that do go home, organized people, will no longer be taken into cognizance. They start coming home. When they get home, the people that will kill goats, people will now gather in the compound, take goats, drink, and the rest of it. They organize one thing or the other, play music. Now, they understood the hunger in the land. That period is the period to now show. As you come and gather, every meeting they give you 1,000, 2,000. Buy your conscience to vote. After then, nothing. Okay, even the votes, on the long run, after voting, the votes will not count the way it ought to have counted. So, the weaponized poverty and the interest of the people in this process now is on the decline. We need to revamp and rejuvenate our electoral process.
Okay. What's your final? Thank you for more. What's your final thoughts on this story?
Okay. Still on ensuring the people get hope or restore the people's hope on the government or the electoral process. So
Okay.
we have to get the people's hope on the electoral process so we can vote. So the people can vote. So if the people do not have hope that our voices will be heard,
Yeah.
we will not vote. The people will not vote. So surely we need to get back the hope of the people. We need to revamp and transform the whole process of the election.
All right.